Jonas, question for you from Emma. I recently met with a retirement advisor who told me I should reduce how much I am putting into retirement. Red flag.
What?
Red flag. For context,
Oh, maybe not.
I'm 37, saving 23% of my paycheck in my 401k and putting an additional $250 a month into a separate Roth. I make $54,000 a year. I'm in a field that likely won't pay much more than I'm earning now. I ran some retirement calculators, and with what I'm saving now, I'm projected to have about $1.5 million in retirement, which I don't feel is all that much. The advisor said I should back down how much I'm saving for retirement and focus on saving for a house and to have more money just to enjoy life. Is he right?
This is, first off, a great job, Emma, saving money. I think that this is great. Looking at the great savings rate, we need to determine if it's the right level of savings for you based on your long-term goals and really how you're living today, your short-term lifestyle and your lifestyle in retirement. I really don't like recommendations that say reduce saving money or switch what you're doing right now. I personally, in my opinion, I wouldn't change anything. I would focus on your lifestyle. Your current lifestyle right now, are you living on your advisor's recommending a reduction in your 401k contributions? Are you living on hot dogs and ramen noodles right now? Are you that destitute of a lifestyle right now to where you need to ramp things up? And if not, if you're actually saving more than you're spending right now, I've determined just from my experience over the last 30 years, the most financially successful people that I've met, no matter what their income, and I think that $54,000 a year is a great income. The most financially successful people that I've met are always saving more than they spend. So at age 37, I have to believe you're well ahead of your peers. Again, current lifestyle compared to retirement lifestyle, if you're going to have projected about $1.5 million in retirement at age 37, you're going to have some Social Security. I think that you don't have to really change a thing at this point because you have a successful habit of saving right now. I would look at focusing on your lifestyle now and your lifestyle in retirement. And if anything, maybe you could ramp it up, Doug. Do some more. You're already financially successful right now.
This is interesting because I said red flag and you said maybe not, Roger.
It depends because it's all based on lifestyle, like what they want to get out of her life.
Yeah.
My question that we don't have any background information on, does she want to buy a house? Does she have kids? Does she have a family? I gather from this, she's single and she rents. When somebody says, well, or an advisor would jump out there and say, you need to save money for a down payment on the house. Was that because she wants a house or the advisor thinks she should own a house? The one thing people forget about home ownership, whatever the payment is, double it.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's going to cost to own that house. So with $54,000 a year, realistically, let's just use some numbers.
Yeah.
She needs to keep her housing cost at 25% of that.
Okay.
So it's like $1,000 a month. Well, call it $1,250 a month for housing, utilities, everything. No way is she going to stay there and still be able to save what she's saving. And for some people, a home's not a priority. They don't want to have the maintenance. They don't want to do the work. They would rather rent.
Yeah.
So I'd really like to know, is the house her priority or the advisor's priority? Because we've talked on the show a lot. Your home is not an investment. It's an investment in your lifestyle, but it is not an investment that you're going to turn into tangible cash in the future and use to retire.
If you do, you're lucky. Really, that's what it comes down to.
Well, you won't be able to because you're at the rent somewhere then.
I guess you're right about that. This is what's interesting, too, because we're having this great national debate over home ownership because the average age first home owner, a decade, 2 decades ago, was like 32. It's now 40.
It's 40.
It's 40 years old. That's the average age of the first home buyer when they purchase their first home.
Do you think it's only on affordability, or do you think some of it is people have realized what I realized, that house is not an investment.
Yeah.
It's an investment in your lifestyle.
Right. If you want that lifestyle, because in addition to being someplace like for us, hey, it's more than our domicile. It is the place. People go by and they look at, ooh, they like it. We like that and we like keeping it up. But for somebody else, I mean, it may be a burden to them because then they've got to figure out how am I going to get the grass done. And we just had 1.5 feet of snow. Who's going to come plow the snow and take care of that? What happens when the wind gets up to 70 miles an hour and blows the gutters off the side of the house? Lots of things that way. Jonas, did you have something you wanted to wrap up with?
Just keep going, Doug. The list goes on and on. I'm just
He's
listening and nodding. I'm like that.
Yep.
Thing on the top of the station wagon.
Hey,
Just kinda
exactly. Good
nods.
example. You know, we have a vacation place. We had a house. We went to a condo for that reason.
Yeah.
The house is 5 hours away. We couldn't maintain it. It was a huge pain.
Right.
Now we have a
Exactly.
condo. We shut her up. While we were sitting here, I just got a text. We're doing water checks today to make sure your heat's at the right level and your water's turned off. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because guess who doesn't have to do that?
You.
Me.
Yeah.
Well, I
great.
said at the last show, the buying a boat is. You taught me this, Roger.
Break out another 1,000.
Another
It's
1,000.
It's probably like another 10. now.
Acronym for home is holy cow, oh my gosh, more expenses.
Casey loves that one. We miss Casey, but he loves that one. I was listening to the show the other night, and you did that one.
I'd never heard that one.
He
That's
got
awesome.
a kick out of that
Well,
one.
it's true. It never stops. Like, even if you buy a new house, it doesn't
Right.
stop. It's
No.
I have a friend of mine. His son bought his first house. He called me up, said, "What do you think?" And him and his fiance, they have a good income.
Mhm.
They're like, "Oh, it's going to be like $1,700 a month." I'm like, "Oh, no, it's not." He says, "It's going to be $4,000."
Yeah.
He goes, "What do you mean?" I go, "This house is 40 years old.
Yeah.
It's going to be $4,000 a month."
Mhm.
Well, sure enough, they're in there. Guess what they needed? A fence.
Mhm.
Now they need a water heater. They've been there like a month.
Right.
It's just going to keep going.
Yeah. That's when my kid decided he was going to buy a house. It was like, okay, here's what you look at. And we had that same conversation. Every dollar you put into that, you need to put at least 50% of what that is. Just stick it away for right now because they did a lot of upgrades. You're going to need that money. You're going to need to pile it up. And it doesn't matter whether it's, if you stick it in the pillow or if you put it in a, CD, whatever it is, just make sure that you're doing that. See, this is kind of the common sense stuff that you get at Premier Investments and Wealth Management. So thank you so much, Emma, for that question. I hope that you get everything figured out. I think maybe you need to kick the tires another wealth advisor because, if they're telling you to buy a house because they think you should buy a house, who's doing your investment plan, you or them? It should be you through Premier Investments and Wealth Management.
I actually have a customer story very similar to this, except I did recommend that they get a new house.
Yeah.
So, husband and wife, 3 kids, and they're late 30s. They have over $1 million saved. They are doing everything right, and they have a good income. Well, one stays home, but they're making $100,000+.
Yeah.
They're living in like a 1,400 square foot house with 3 kids. They're like on top of themselves.
That they are.
And I had the discussion. We ran their financial plan based on what their goals were and said, guys, you can pack down what you're saving and get your family a house so your kids don't have to share a room.
Yeah.
And the wife had been waiting for permission to do this.
Yeah.
But they're super fit, no debt. The house is paid for. Like they don't have any debt, nothing.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, you should probably do this. You should get a place to get your family in a comfortable spot. And there's cases where we will recommend people dial it down, but it's typically because they started so young and accumulated so much so quickly that now, truth be told, if they never save another dollar, it likely wouldn't matter.
What you reminded me of, Roger, is what we do sometimes, and we don't even know it, but sometimes we do financial counseling. You have a husband and wife. They have different goals, and they don't want to fight about it, but they want to talk to somebody about it that's not their neighbor, their relative, people that are all these people that they talk to that are so biased. They come in. I had a different situation, but very similar. I had a customer up north, and she did a great job saving money. And she asked me, she doesn't have any beneficiaries, and I turned into a financial counselor. She asked me a question. She said, do I need to start spending more money? I don't have any beneficiaries. And I said, Well, yeah, probably so. But that was a question. I was just kind of delighted with the question.
Yeah.
That was a question I know that she couldn't ask anybody else but me.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of this, too, ends up being financial counseling. But I'm glad that you were able to help that couple get into a bigger house.
That's
because
awesome.
I think that's going to
Financial friends with benefits, really. That's what it comes down to. In a good way.
Okay.
In a wholesome,
make sure
wholesome,
this-
wholesome way.
Keep us on air, Doug.
All right.
Wholesome way. Yeah, exactly.
What do you
This
think
is
goes on?
G-rated.
It's a holiday show, Doug.
Exactly. The only other thing that I would say with regard to this is that it's also important to think about the exiting the home, because you know what? There are people that they've had homes that they've had for years that they had when they had 3, 4, 5 kids. That's way too much house for you at some point, and you're going to have to be trying to maintain it. That's also something my friends from Premier Investments and Wealth Management can talk to you about, to counsel you about, and give you the permission to do the things you want. Like, how much can I move to a condo? What's it going to be able to cost? How am I going to be able to afford this? These are the kind of things you count on my friends at Premier Investments and Wealth Management for. Make your appointment today at premieriwm.com. Create a step-by-step profile for your retirement, no matter what it is, for the big purchases in your life, whether it's your first house or maybe you're getting a second house or maybe you're putting the kids through college. PremierIWM.com or call 800-383-6590. That's 800-383-6590. Premier Investments and Wealth Management named to Forbes 2025 Best in State Wealth Management Team.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA SIPC. The opinions voiced in this show are for general information purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which investments may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, and financial or tax advisor prior to investing. Premier Investments and Wealth Management and LPL Financial do not provide specific individualized tax or legal advice. We suggest that you discuss your specific situation with a qualified tax or legal advisor. Rebalancing a portfolio may cause investors to incur tax liabilities and/or transaction costs, and does not assure a profit or protect against loss. Economic forecasts set forth may not develop as predicted, and there can be no guarantee that strategies promoted will be successful. All performance referenced is historical and is not a guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and cannot be invested into directly. There is no assurance that the techniques and strategies discussed are suitable for all investors or will yield positive outcomes. The purchase of certain securities may be required to affect some of the strategies. Investing involves risks, including possible loss of principal. There is no guarantee that a diversified portfolio will enhance overall returns or outperform a non-diversified portfolio. Diversification does not protect against market risk. Prior to investing in a 529 plan, investors should consider whether the investor's or designated beneficiary's home state offers any state tax or other state benefits such as financial aid, scholarship funds, and protection from creditors that are only available for investments in such state's qualified tuition program. Withdrawals used for qualified expenses are federally tax-free. Tax treatment at the state level may vary. Please consult with your tax advisor before investing. Forbes' Best in State Wealth Management Team's ranking was developed by Shook Research and is based on in-person, virtual, and telephone due diligence meetings and a ranking algorithm that includes a measure of each team's best practices, client retention, industry experience, review of compliance records, firm nominations, and quantitative criteria, including assets under management and revenue generated for their firm. Investment performance is not a criterion because client objectives and risk tolerances vary, and advisors rarely have audited performance reports. Shook's research and rankings provide opinions intended to help investors choose the right financial advisor and team, and are not indicative of future performance or representative of any one client's experience. Past performance is not an indication of future results. Neither Forbes nor Shook Research receive compensation in exchange for placement on the ranking. For more information, please see www.shookresearch.com. Shook is a registered trademark of Shook Research, LLC.